Okay, hi. You have been asking me to make a video, an updated video on all the accessories that I've installed on my Interceptor till date, a sort of a refresher because I have installed some new parts in 2025. So this video is going to be just that. I have prepared a sort of a list because I do remember all the parts that I've installed on the bike. However, their pricing fluctuates. Ever since I've installed them, they have increased a little bit, hence the list. So I would put the pricing somewhere around here. That'll help you. I'll also be totaling it down so that you get to know how much I have spent on this bike since I've bought this. Let's begin. I'll start from the front. Number one thing, the dart fly screen. Oh, aesthetically really good, and I am all about that minimal thing. And if you do notice, it is mounted under the clusters very nicely, helps very slightly in deflecting the wind. However, it is just for aesthetical purposes in my opinion. I bought this for $124 and that translates to 10,800 rupees. Bear with me, there's going to be a lot more parts. Night eye bulb. This is a BS6A version that came with a halogen bulb, so it was very easy for me to just swap the halogen out and put the night eye in. I have been using this since 5 years and I have only replaced it once. This cost about 3,000 rupees and it does come in a pair, so I already had a spare with me. So then these tiny indicators that you see here, these are from Amazon USA. They are Quasco indicators. They are $23 a pair, which means you get two for 2,000 rupees. And they are really bright and they are really discreet and I love it. Yes, I could have gone for the Kellermann also. Those are even more tinier than this. And at that time, I didn't have that much of a budget to buy such expensive indicators. Not this one, I'm referring to the Kellermann ones. Hence. And then these are mounted on the RPC headlight brackets, Road Power Customs. They are very minimal and I did not want it to have those OEM silver chunky looking headlight mounting brackets, hence they had to go. Those costed me about 8,000 rupees. Then K-speed brake and clutch levers. These are really good. They are adjustable. I have been using them since 5 years and there is no problem whatsoever. I bought these for Thai baht 1800. That translates to about 4,800 rupees. Next up, these textured grip puppies. These make the handlebar slightly thicker. They will cost you about 1,900 rupees a pair. They are a must-have according to me because if you're touring, they soak up a lot of vibration and they are really comfortable as well. Next up is Van Hill clutch cable. Now, you are aware that the clutch cable on the Interceptor is on the tighter side. And ever since I've installed this clutch cable, I haven't had the need to replace my clutch cable since 2 years now. And it is working phenomenally well. If you have the budget, I would suggest go for it. These will cost you about 30 pounds, which translates to about 3,500 rupees. I know it's getting a lot, right? Then one of my favorite mods on this bike, these Kemimoto bar and mirrors. They offer a really good vision and they are coated with anti-glare as well. Plus, they do not vibrate at all. They give a very clear picture. They will cost you about $37 a pair and that translates to about 3,200 rupees. And then YSS front suspensions. My God, this radically transforms the way the bike handles. If you don't have the budget for the rear ones, please save and if you can, just go for the front suspensions. They are fantastic. You can change the preload and the ride quality just transforms. These cost about 23,000 rupees. Now, this price is when I initially bought them in 2022. Right now, these cost about 37,000 rupees. So I'm not going to include 37, but I'm including 23. Next up, a very important one and one of my favorites again. This is an Outex kit that I've installed on my bikes because I don't have cross-spoke wheels. So what I did was I took out the tube, installed the Outex kit and made these OEM wheels tubeless. And they have been working phenomenally well since I've installed them in 2022. So this will set you back 13,000 rupees. Now, as you can see, the wheels also have a different tire. These are Timson tires, 190/18 in front and 150/17/18 at the rear. This will set you back 23,000 rupees. I have been using these tires again since 2022 August and they have been performing really good. I know I'm due to change the tires. However, the way I have been riding this bike, not aggressive at all, not going to excessively long touring. As a result, these tires still have a lot of tread depth to them. And also I don't see any cut marks on these tires, which is a clear indicator that you need a different tire. So I love these tires. I also have a replacement, by the way, and I have purchased MRF Zapper. Whenever I install them, I'll let you know. Those are substantially cheaper than this one. Those cost me about 6,000 a pair actually. Moving on. One of the most useless items, but only good in terms of aesthetics, that is this part right here. This is a clutch arm sleeve from Tech Bike Parts. This will cost you about 5,000 rupees. Yes, I know. Just personal preferences, call it. And then I have iridium spark plugs, which are from NGK. I bought them as a kit and you get the suppressor cap, the spark plug itself and a high tension coil wire as well. The entire set will cost you about 5,000 rupees. So that's that. Then I have, because this is a BS6 model, BS6A model, that did not come with a USB socket, unlike the newer versions in 2025. I purchased this from Hitchcocks motorcycles, which costed me about 44 pounds, translates to about 5,100 rupees. Then comes this phone mount, that is from Quadlock. I wanted the best phone mount holder for my bike, so I went with the Quadlock holder itself. Optionally, if you don't want to buy the vibration dampener, you can do that. However, it will damage your camera sensors. Quadlock itself mentions that. Hence, I had to buy this vibration dampener separate and this black lever also separate. So, the vibration dampener will cost you about $20. That translates to 1,740 rupees, 1,740 rupees. The colored lever is for $10, which is about 875 rupees. And the Quadlock mount itself costs about $84, which is 7,300. This is for 20mm bars, 23mm, 22mm and 25mm bars. So it's a very, very good investment and you don't have to throw it away. You can just use it on the next bike if you are planning to get one. I'll explain about that part shortly. Now then, moving on, I have the Himalayan handlebar. Now, when I bought this in 2021, it was about 2,500 rupees. Right now, this one costs about 4,500 rupees. You're gonna hate me for this, but I promise it is worth it. It is completely worth it. Next up are these Motone custom up and over risers. These cost about 145 pounds. That translates to 16,800 rupees. Sorry about that, but these are really good and they have a 3-inch rise and a 1-inch. The handlebars are pulled towards you. And they are exceptionally well engineered, so much so that you do not need to buy separate clutch cables and brake cables. They have been made keeping the length of the OEM cables in mind and phenomenally well. They do look like they are OEM part, by the way, so I love it. That's the latest part that I've installed. Moving on, rightly so, you must have noticed that ever since you would remove the OEM mirrors, there would be a hole on your consoles right here. That hole is of 10 millimeters, and I did buy those 10 millimeters blank plugs. Those are about 800 a pair, and you can get them from Road Power Customs. Moving on. This is on. There's more. Bear with me. Then moving on to the middle. I have a booster plug installed. That is for 3,750. Yes, I could have gone with a FuelX Pro Plus, which has 10 different maps. However, booster plug from Way2 Speed is exceptionally easy to install, and it just has one map, and that makes everything jive very well. Then I have the K&N air filter. That costs about 7,210 rupees. There are a lot of aftermarket filters out there. You can go with a Way2 Speed one, you can go with a DNA one. They are all good. I just wanted to go for a K&N one because my previous bike, the Harley-Davidson Fat Boy, also had a K&N air filter. So a little homage to that, if you may. I also have the high intake air filter plate. That costs about 500 rupees. I bought that from Amazon. Then you must have noticed these black engine casings. These are not painted. These are OEM parts which I have bought separately so that this looks the way it looks, which is pretty sexy, by the way. This is the clutch side engine cover, which is about 5,350 rupees. And then there is this gear side engine cover, which will cost you about 3,700 rupees. Followed by this rocker box cover, which costs about 3,000 rupees. And then there is this sprocket cover also, that costs about 1,010 rupees. And then there is also this. If you would notice, the fuel rubber cap on your tank will get cut automatically because it is not of that good quality. So I got this an aftermarket part, which is from Road Power Customs, and that has lasted me about 2.5 years. Let's put it back. That is for 1,000 rupees. Moving on to the rear. I have the tail light by Hitchcocks motorcycles. That cost about 60 pounds, translates to 7,000 rupees. Now I know a lot of you have asked me where can I find this tail light. Unfortunately, Hitchcocks doesn't make this tail light anymore because this is a bolt-on fit. I did not have to drill anything on the tail light or the tail light housing. So looks pretty sweet. The visibility is amazing and I love it. It is just very precisely engineered product. Then comes this trip machine seat. I love this seat. As you may have noticed, I am not in New Delhi area. I drove this bike all the way to Dehradun and I rode this continuously for about 6 hours. This seat is phenomenal. You cannot go wrong with this seat. It's a little on the pricier side. However, the seat is just, this is one of my favorite seats. This will cost you about 12,000 rupees. Also, I wanted to take a step towards making this bike, my Interceptor, a little utilitarian as well. Hence, the trusted Wingman side panels from Trip Machine. I've got them for both sides. You can choose to get for either side. The pair will cost you about 9,000 rupees. So I would definitely say these are worth it. The storage capacities are 3.5 liters. You can store a lot of things here. And here it is, like I said, like Trip Machine says, it's your Wingman. Then you would notice these, that these are very small items. I just wanted to install them because in my opinion, in my mind, the picture that I had envisioned for this bike, they were completing that picture. The next one is the swing arm bobbin. That costs about 1,000 rupees. That goes on right here. This is particularly for if you have a paddock stand. You can just put the bike on that. That is it. That's what the purpose of that is. Also, there is this rear suspension finisher. I'll get to the suspensions a little later, but notice this, a small branding. That is what this is all about. This is the rear suspension finisher from Royal Enfield. It'll cost you about 1,250 rupees. Just looks pretty in my opinion. Next up is the Power Age exhausts. I'm pretty sure you have seen and heard how these exhausts sound like. They are my favorite. I have always used this with the baffles. The sound is just amazing. A lot of you are asking me what's the difference between the long version and the short version. Nothing. It does not sound different, it is just the looks. Hence, I went with the short cans. You, however, can go with any that you like. It will not make a difference to the sound. Also, people ask me why have I gone with a brushed steel finish exhaust. I just loved the look of this. End of this year, I would also be going with a full system exhaust that will also be of brushed stainless steel. It's just a matter of personal preference, I would say. This costed me about 14,999, 15,000 rupees. And then moving on to the rear, I also have these indicators, these tiny indicators at the back as well. Hence $23 for another pair. That sets you by 2,000 rupees more. However, if you would have noticed, the indicators in the front are a little compact, a little closer towards the headlight, and the indicators at the rear are a little farther away from the tail light. That is because of these brackets that I had ordered from Kellermann itself. They do provide a lot of mounting solutions. So this is a 25 mm mounting screw, I would say. This will cost you about 10 euros per piece. So I have two, hence 20 euros. Translate that to Indian rupees, that's about 2,000 rupees more. Now, my most expensive mod on this bike, that is undoubtedly the YSS rear suspensions. They are adjustable for preload, damping and rebound. They are exceptionally well. Adjusting them is very easy. I've had so much fun just making it according to my riding style, the bike according to how I feel. And this just radically transforms the bike. High speed rides, you got it. Bumpy rides, you got it. It is the best. However, this is also compatible with Bear 650 as well. Fun fact. This, when I bought in 2022, costed me about 58,000 rupees. Right now, this costs about 95,000 rupees. Bottom line, these suspensions are really good and I love it. They just complete the bike. Also, when I bought the Interceptor, it came with a silver intake plate. I did not want that because in my mind, I had a vision for a black look. Hence, I had to buy this extra from the company itself. This will cost you about 1,350 rupees. So, moment of truth. All that expense adds up to an amount that is 2,75,433 Indian rupees. I know this. A new Interceptor costs about 3,64,968 rupees. I'm talking about the Sunset Strip variant because that is exactly what the Baker Express was. So the new model costs almost similar to what I've already spent on this bike. And if you add that up, the bike now is worth 6,40,401 rupees. But all that has been done from a place of love, from a place of passion. You might wonder that why I have spent so much on this motorcycle. As my favorite motorcycle enthusiast preaches and tells, Chumi, you buy expensive products not because you want to show off. You buy them because they last a really long time, because these parts are of exceptional quality. So bottom line, I don't encourage anybody to spend such an exorbitant amount of money. However, if you want to enhance your riding experience a little more, definitely go for it. If a couple of years down the line, or if tomorrow something happens with the bike and I decide to just sell the bike off, I'll retain these parts, maybe buy another Interceptor and just put these parts on that. I'll have the exact same Interceptor from day one. That is why I've bought these parts. I've carefully researched these parts for my motorcycle, the way I wanted my motorcycle to look, because at the end of the day, this is a blank canvas and I love to paint. But I do not encourage you to spend such an exorbitantly large amount of money. Do it if you really want to. I would strongly encourage you to do some research first. I still see so many comments on my Instagram, on my YouTube that, hey, what is the lever that you have? What is the handlebar that you have? What tires are you running? I've made specific videos on all these items, and there is a dedicated playlist on my channel. Just go and check. You'll get all the links in the description, in the related videos description, that is. That is about it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've watched it till the end, till here, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. I'm really excited to be making all these content for you. I'm also thinking to start a Q&A session, and if the question is really interesting enough, I'll make a video on it. If you've enjoyed watching this video and learned something new, I would urge you to consider giving it a like. And do let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. I read and respond to all, as you might have noticed. Thank you so much for watching this video once again, and I'll see you in the next one. Ride safe and stay safe. Shri out. Do subscribe if you haven't. Really helps me.